Welcome to Juhl Media YouTube live podcast. My name's Ching Juhl. Thank you for joining me. Today, my special guest is Sidney Guren, who is a 12-year-old student who lives in Manhattan, New York City. Let's welcome. Hey, welcome,
Hello.
Sydney. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about your journey of you went to Korea for
Yes, I
about a
did.
week. Yeah.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit. I'm so interested in about the whole thing. Now, first of all, this is your first time travel by yourself to a foreign country. How does that feel?
Well, I was like, so when I was going there, I felt like really nervous because like this is my first time in international travel in the first place. I'd never gone outside of the U.S. before, so it was like sort of like nerve wracking. And I was going by myself, so it was I kind of felt very tense, but after like going through like the whole program and being in Korea for a week, by the time I was flying back, I was way more relaxed.
Yes, you're very brave. You're only 12 years old. And so, what is this whole thing came from? I understand in your school you studied Korean language, right?
Yeah.
And how did it happen? Like, you're the only one from your school, your class being picked among New York. So, tell us a little bit about how the whole process went.
So basically, my Korean teacher um asked me to sort of I guess apply for this program, and she said just write an essay just like about anything, and then I wrote the essay, and then we sort of filled out the application and sent it off, and I ended up getting in. So I mean, we were like, no one thought I was actually going to end up doing this, but I did, and so here I am.
So, what kind of essay topic, like what is the title like you have to deliver and how long the essay was?
Well, the parameters weren't exactly very clear, so I sort of just like I just wrote whatever sort of came to my head, and it wasn't like such a long essay, just like something short about me, and yeah, that was about it.
Very nice. Oh, by the way, let's talk about a little bit about you. Who are you? Can you tell us a little bit about you? Because a lot of time I interview grown-ups, right? And they have their biography is really miles long. Of course,
hmm
you're only 12 years old. So can you just give a short bio of who you are?
Okay, so my name is Sydney. I live in Manhattan, New York, and I like to play music and write stories and like do magic tricks sometimes. Yeah.
That's it?
I guess so.
Thank you. So what is your favorite thing to do after school?
After school, when I come home, I like to usually like write something or just sit down and read a book or yeah, basically just read.
And I understand you play the violin.
I do.
For how long now?
Um, like 7, 6 years, something like that. Yeah.
Wow, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Whoever knows how to play the violin, I think they can do so many other things very well because
hmm
what is the violin thing? Like tell us why would I say that if someone can play the violin then can do other things very well? Why is that?
Well, I think it has to do with like the awkwardness of playing the violin. Like you don't like that's the only thing playing like holding in this position. Like that's the only thing you do your entire daily life. That you do something so like weird, so awkward. And it's kind of like a hard instrument to learn, but like once you have learned it, it makes it a lot easier for you to sort of learn other instruments. And like when you're learning the violin, you get to learn like a lot of like cool music theory and stuff like that that can be very useful for um, just anything basically.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. Violin or any string instrument requires so many coordinations, right? Left hand, right hand, and then you have to play the music, the string instrument in tune. That's very difficult. And then you have to make sure your bow is certain way, the left hand certain way. That's like totally opposite with each other, moving at the same time. And then you have to make sure your rhythm is right, your pitch is right. So there's like a multitasking, yeah, incredibly multitasking, right? Yeah. So anyway, great, great. All right, go back to Korean thing now. So you went to Seoul, I believe, right? You went to
Yeah.
Seoul. So tell us a little bit about just a little bit about when you get there, um, how surprised you were, or you just like imagine this is gonna be like that because you already studied Korean language for a year. So tell us a little bit how was your expectation and was it a lot of surprises?
Yeah, so I talked to some other people who had been there before. Beforehand, they said it was like a really nice city. It was bigger than New York, and it had like all these like cool like sites that you can visit and stuff like in New York City. And so when I got to Seoul, like when I arrived, basically I was picked up from the airport and we just went immediately to the foundation. So I didn't really get to see the city until we toured it. So we like went on this field trip and visited some really awesome places. Um, and so then I got to sort of see how big Seoul was and how cool it was, and it was like yeah, it was very much like I very much enjoyed being there. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, what is or what was the ultimate, like in the end, what do you guys work on a project? Do you have a project for everyone work towards?
Yeah, so during sort of the whole thing, we did like these cooler, little sort of like activities and learning Korean, but we are mostly practicing for this big musical performance. And so they like every day like for like a few hours, we practiced this song and then we finally, got to perform it and it was really fun. And it was from a musical about the person who invented Hangul, so it was very interesting. And it was fun time playing.
So, the musical was written by Korean artist. And
Yes, I
yeah,
believe so.
what is the title called? Can you say it in
Um,
Korean?
I think it's called Sejong, which is I think the name of the person who made Hangul. Um, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And now, did you guys see the entire show, or you did you did just the part of it?
So all we did was we just played the finale song, like the final song in the end. So yeah, it's like a really beautiful song.
Do you remember the key lyrics? Can you say it in Korean and then
Well,
translate for us?
um, I'm not exactly sure about the translation, but it goes so it goes 바람 불면 쓰러지고 비가 오면 그녀 맞고 and it keeps going. It's like it so like I think that like first line talks it says it's like something like in our lives we face hardships, something like that. Um, so yeah, it talks about like the challenges but also the beauty of living. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So who are the what are the age from, like, you're 12, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what's the age range from
So
the
I think
crew?
I think I was like one of the youngest people there. It was like from like middle school to all the way up through high school. So like the oldest kids they were like 17, 18 years old and the youngest people were like my age. So yeah.
And how many on this whole week of journey?
I think it was like somewhere between like 90 and 100 people from various
Mm.
countries.
All different countries?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there are multiple people from the same country, but there were like people from like all over. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Like just name
Um,
a few.
like some people came from the U.S., some people came from the Philippines, some people came from Indonesia. Yeah.
I see. So how many people went as representing New York?
I was the only person from New York, but there were four other people that came from the U.S.
Ah, only four.
Mhm.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
But there,
awesome.
there are five in total, but only four, not including
Yeah.
me.
Oh, so do you think you were picked has to do with you play the violin or it's not?
No,
Like
I think it has nothing to do with me playing the violin. And it was never mentioned when we
oh,
filled out the application. It was just
yeah,
some. It
yeah.
had nothing to do with.
So what do you think? What do you think your strength being picked? Is it because you are a good writer or what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think it was possibly because, um, possibly because the fact that I wrote a good essay, but like it. I mean, I feel like the expectation was that you like originally write it in Korean or something like that, but mine was translated. So it was so I didn't originally write it in Korean at all. It was translated to Korean. They said you could do that though. So I'm not entirely sure like how other people what the process for them was like, but yeah. So
So in your school, which is in New York City, and is it a common to study Korean in New York City's? I assume you go to public school or private school.
I go to a public school,
Okay.
um, and we have a Korean class there that everyone in the school takes. I don't know how common it is across all public schools in New York City to have Korean, but I know there's often, at least for I think to pass the eighth grade, I think you must pass a foreign language class. So um so there's like so some schools have different classes, not just Korean.
Wow. I'm very impressed. That's awesome. Yeah. And can you say happy holidays in Korean?
No, I do not know how to.
Can you say something? Something, your favorite word, favorite phrase.
Um, well, I don't know. I mean, I think
I know. Say, I do not like to practice. No, just kidding. Say something like, I enjoy playing with my brother. Do you know how to say that?
well, I can say I think my favorite phrase is like I speak a little Korean. I think that's my
Oh,
favorite
okay.
phrase. I
Sure,
think it
sure.
goes something like this.
Yeah.
한국어를 조금 할 수 있습니다.
Wow, that's nice. Mida, Mida. All right. So now, what is your typical schedule when you get to Korea? Like, what do you do in the morning, afternoon, evening? Like, how do they
Well,
entertain you?
so every day was a bit different. So you get up, you have breakfast, and then like it's just like you have
Oh,
like an
right. Stop there.
activity.
Stop right there. What breakfast? What do you eat for breakfast?
Well, it was actually kind of sort of like very sort of American food style. It was like eggs and ham and stuff like that. They didn't have forks though; they had chopsticks. So it was interesting, using chopsticks to eat food. They had like bagels and stuff, and then after that we usually had some sort of activity. Sometimes it was like practicing for the musical, but like other times we made gimbap. We did calligraphy, stuff like that, and then we had lunch, which was like cool foods like spicy kimchi soup and stuff like that. Um, and then we had another activity, and then there was dinner, and then there was even more activities, and then we went to bed. But then, and during we also and on I think the Wednesday there we toured Seoul, and we had food from restaurants that was also very good, like fried rice and stuff. You're muted. All
Fine.
right.
So every day is slightly different. Did you do any other outdoor things such as museum or just outdoor sightseeing?
We took a bus. We took this I think there were two buses, and we first visited it was like the Hannah Bank. It wasn't so interesting, but then we from there we went, and then I think we had lunch, and then we went to a number of places. So we went, I think first it was to Gyeongbokgung Palace. That was very fun. Then we went to um the Hangul Museum, and then Seoul Tower, Namsang Tower, and we got to see like these like cool sights. And it was relatively cold outside, but it was still fun to um you know like take pictures and have fun, eat food, and then from there we had dinner and we went back to the campus. So yeah.
So during this whole year of studying Korean language, did you build up a favor for Korean food? Like, can you eat spicy?
Well, I mean, yeah, I really like eating spicy food. Sometimes like our teacher handed out like snacks. They weren't usually spicy though. They were more like cookies and stuff, but they were still very good. But yeah, so I mean, I've sort of like always sort of liked ish spicy food, but like now more.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, shall we share a little bit of the song you guys performed in the end of your program?
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. So you were right there in the first row, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I think can you mute yourself there?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will. Maybe a little bit better. Maybe I should mute myself too.
찾아가리 노소를 찾고 백성과 함께 가리 노소를 찾고
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, very nice. So you had, whoops. So you had professional people. We have an echo going on. Yeah, are we good?
Oh,
So
yeah.
we have a so you have a professional people join you, right? During the performance.
Um, yeah, I don't know exactly, where they were from, but like, yeah, there was like some people in the audience, but like
Mhm,
mostly it was like the teachers from the program.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So now, if you have another chance of doing something like that, go to a foreign country, would you do it again?
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's very cool to
from
go outside the US.
the audio is funny right now. So this whole thing take away. Do you have some wise tips for children like your age if they have a opportunity like that present in front of them? What would you say to them?
Well, I mean, I would say like I think if you want to, then do it. But if you're like really not interested, then don't do it. But I think either way, it's still very fun and experience. Like, I mean, Korea from here is all the way across the world. So, it was like a very long flight and, all this, stuff back and forth. But, but like in general, just like getting an offer to go to another country, yeah, you should probably just go and have fun. That's my best advice. Yeah.
Did you make any friends through this trip?
Yeah. I mean, like as it got like to the end of the program, you started to like, get comfortable more, and then you have to say goodbye because it's like a very short amount of time. So
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And now, how was your parents' reaction? Like, were they worried, or were they like, "Hey, go, kid! Go have fun"?
I
How
mean,
did they?
the first reaction was like, we don't think it's actually happening. Like it was just like, no, that's no way that's actually happening. And then it like got closer, and like they still hadn't like sent us the tickets, and we were like, and then they did, and then it was like, oh my god. So yeah.
And they were never really worried about you going there by yourself, right?
No, not really. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. So, by the way, this whole organization's name is called International Korean Education Foundation.
Yeah.
And thank you, yeah, for letting students from all over the world have opportunity like this to have this cultural exchange, music exchange, and food exchange, yeah, chopstick exchange. Yeah, that's wonderful. So anything else you want to add on? And you're doing a wonderful job, Sydney. You're the youngest person and being interviewed by me. The last person was interviewed by me was 17 years old, but you are the youngest. So anything you want to add on before we close?
I mean, I had a
No?
wonderful time and it was really like mind blowing.
You're doing great. Yeah. So this is good. Nothing to
No,
add on.
no,
Okay. Yeah, we're good, right? All right. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you, my audience, for listening and for participating. And yeah, we'll see you very soon. Okay. All right. Bye
bye.
now. Bye bye. Happy holidays.